So without a doubt, the most popular misconception about vaccines is that they cause autism. And I totally understand why people would be scared of vaccines for this. Why would you want to get your kids or your family members shots when there's a chance it could lead to a developmental disorder? Well, I'm here to tell you this is a complete and utter myth. This really started in the 1990s when a researcher was being paid by a group of lawyers to make it seem like there was a connection between vaccines and autism. They wanted to do this because they were going to sue the vaccine manufacturers for money. So he falsified the results and made it seem like there was a connection between vaccines and autism. And this took off like wildfire on the internet. Now, here's why this is not true. There is no link between vaccines and autism. First of all, there have been hundreds of studies that have been done trying to replicate his data and see if a link between the two exists. And well, nada. There's been no connection between the two since this one guy's finding. There was even a study done recently that followed nearly 700,000 kids in Denmark and compared the kids who did and didn't get vaccinated. And what they found was that when you compared the two populations, so if you compared the kids who did get vaccinated versus the kids who didn't, there was no difference in the rates of autism. Basically, it didn't matter if you got vaccinated or if you didn't. There was no difference in the chance of getting autism whether you got the vaccine or you didn't. I'll leave a link to the paper in the description below if you want to check it out yourself. It's a really good read and a really well done study. If you've watched part 1, which I highly recommend you do, you'll see that vaccines kind of mimic the real disease. So by saying that vaccines cause autism, what you're really saying is that if someone gets sick, they can get autism, which is just not true. We all get sick all the time, and it doesn't cause us to become autistic. So make sure you go get vaccinated without this being a worry. There's no link between the two things. Another big fear of vaccines is that they contain mercury. It seems weird, right? Like, why would you put mercury inside vaccines? The mercury, or thimerosal, which was inside vaccines, was used as a preservative and helped prevent bacterial growth. So things like E. coli just couldn't grow inside the vial. You don't really want to inject people with bacteria that have been growing inside those vials. So mercury inside vaccines became a public concern at the end of the 20th century, and there was a big public outcry for it. So what the CDC did was they removed it from all childhood vaccines. And this was done all the way in 2001. So this isn't even a concern for parents and kids today because all of the mercury and thimerosal has been removed from childhood vaccine. There are some vaccines for adults that do contain thimerosal, but you can ask for the mercury-free version if you prefer, because they do make versions of that don't contain the thimerosal in it. Just a quick statistic to keep in mind though, if you are concerned about the levels of mercury inside vaccines, a typical vaccine has somewhere between 25 to 50 micrograms of thimerosal in it. And this is less than the amount of mercury that you would get if you ate a 3-ounce can of tuna. So those tuna sandwiches that you might have been eating are giving you more mercury than the vaccines that you're afraid of. So why should you really give a shit if other people aren't getting vaccinated? Or why are people pushing you to get vaccinated? Well, not getting vaccinated can actually affect you directly and the people around you without you knowing it. This is because of something called herd immunity. So let's just say there's 100 people sitting in a building. One of these people has a disease that has caused their immune system to become compromised or destroyed it entirely. So things like cancer or HIV cause this, and these people are no longer protected from dangerous diseases. But if everyone else in the building is vaccinated, you're kind of acting as like a herd and protecting them from that disease. So this is also the case for really young children. Children have to be of a certain age to get vaccinated because your immune system takes time to develop. If a baby is too young to get vaccines, everyone vaccinated around them is acting like a herd and protecting them from those dangerous diseases. Now, what happens when more and more of these 99 people around this one person aren't vaccinated, they can actually transfer those deadly diseases to this person who's already sick and do it without even knowing it, without having the symptoms show up. And this can result in some serious consequences. The people who don't have an immune system could die or get really sick from this disease that they're not able to fight. For the benefit of everyone around you, make sure that you're getting vaccinated. You also might be the person one day who has the cancer and you want everyone else around you to get vaccinated so that you're safe. Another reason you should give a shit is viral mutations. This is kind of one of the reasons that we haven't been able to vaccinate against HIV. The HIV virus mutates and it evades your immune system. This can happen with viruses that we've already developed vaccines for. If someone who doesn't get vaccinated gets infected with that virus and that virus mutates, vaccines may no longer be able to protect against that mutated virus. So this puts everyone at risk, even if you do have the vaccine. Basically, the take-home message here is that vaccines are completely safe and that you should make sure that you and your family get vaccinated to protect yourselves and to protect others around you. And don't take my word for it. I mean, there's a number of credible sources that I've linked to below in the description that you can read and find out for yourself. And other resources, your doctor, they can help alleviate concerns and tell you what the best route is for you. If you liked the video, make sure you take a second to subscribe to our channel and follow us on our various social media platforms.